Three, two,
So,
one.
XMen 97.
You mean the greatest cartoon ever created?
Yeah, and so a whole lot goes down, like Living Sentinel, like we were just saying. But Spider Man?
Right, and like Daredevil shows up.
Right.
Another dude that I couldn't remember.
Multiple.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to what I asked at the beginning. Is this canon? Like, is this part of the MCU?
As far as I know, yes, because
So
this is I mean, this is taking place before it's while Carol Danvers is out
Yeah, no, this is definitely
fighting the
taking
Kree
Right.
or fighting with the Kree and Captain America is still frozen. So the MCU as we know it, it hasn't started yet.
Right, hence the 97.
Right.
Yeah, because Thor didn't come down technically until, I mean, if we're going in,
Yeah,
by the year.
that was after Captain America was unfrozen.
Right.
Yeah. So
and the only reason I ask that question is because if they're just going to go out and like, here it is.
I mean, it makes logical sense in a way because X-Men show that it's sort of laying that groundwork. Like if you've got dudes like Thor and even and Captain America are these superhumans, if the entire world is anti-normal people,
Yeah.
then they're not going to be in support of the Avengers. But so the X-Men would be if it is
Spoiler alert, they win.
yeah, or it's like if they are part of the MCU, then it would be this they've won in changing hearts and minds of accepting.
But in 97,
Freaks.
they had Genosha.
Right, that was the country. Yeah, Magneto set up for mutants.
Correct.
Yeah,
But they 86 that.
right. Sentinels did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where when they reveal it in the end, because you're thinking it's Mr. Sinister.
No.
And then it turns out Mr. Sinister is being used by this Bastion dude who
Human
is
living
Yeah.
sentinel.
right.
Was he a Trask?
No, but like it was
I didn't understand.
no, Trask is dead by this point. And then there was his little henchman who Rogue explodes in that one
Oh, right. Remember that?
in that one episode.
Rogue explodes.
Like I guess she absorbed somebody else's power and then went in and
like
melted him.
Before,
Like,
here,
yeah.
let me touch you, and you're
now.
dead. Yeah.
There you go, sugar.
See, why did they make Rogue such a whiny? Rogue in the movies, the first three, were
Oh yeah. Well, no, where
trash.
I think where this one is, she's very much like like the original animated series.
Yeah,
which
that's
is-
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying why did they ruin Rogue in the movies?
In the live action ones.
Yeah, I don't
yes.
know.
Like we just said that she exploded someone's head.
So that's one I always come back, like particularly to watching X-Men 97.
I mean, they nailed Scott because he's a pussy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, and Jean when she's not Dark Phoenix.
She's a fucking bitch.
But that it's always a problem I've had with the first X-Men movie. There was obviously when they announced it,
Everybody lost their fucking minds.
freaked out.
Of course.
And overall, I liked the movie. I mean, particularly a lot of the casting in it.
The first one was fine.
But see, like there were always two issues. Even when I go back and I rewatch it, which would it have been so hard to at least get close to comic book accurate outfits?
No, they didn't want to do
And
that.
then the second one is Rogue. Is that you say you got Rogue in this movie, and I'm not going to put the blame on Anna Paquin because I think that's
that's what they get. They wrote that character like
right.
that.
And she was told by the director to play that. So I still put that all on Bryan Singer, and I went back to and watched the first class movies. And
Yeah, I've watched all of those recently, except Dark Phoenix, because I refuse to watch that movie ever again.
yeah, no, I leave that one out. Yeah, that's like watch it once and then you don't need to do it
Yeah,
again.
that movie's bad.
But it was still like, when
So First Class?
yeah, first class is solid.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And you had other people writing it, you had other people directing it, and then when they get to Days of Future Past, they bring Bryan Singer back in, and it starts getting hokey. It starts getting, and then of course there's like a bunch of shit that needs explaining. Like, I thought you allowed Professor X to be killed off, now he's back, and blah blah blah. But anyway, and like at the end of
Apocalypse?
yeah, but no wait, what's the no end of Days of Future Past when Wolverine comes back to the present.
Oh yeah,
and everything's been saved, and he's walking the halls of Xavier's School for Children.
Gifted.
Yeah, thank you for the Gifted, and they bring Anna Paquin back to be Rogue.
Right.
And it was just this, like rubbing it in your face, like you took this amazing character who could fucking fly, who had superhuman strength, and then can absorb anybody's power, and all you gave her was the absorbing power thing, and you made her into this brutish teenager.
No, she's not Negasonic Teenage Warrior.
Yeah. And then, so of course you go through like, trivia and shit like that, and of course, like, what then stuck out was like when they were trying to get Bryan Singer were trying to find a director, and Bryan Singer was interested, and then he was like, well, I don't know anything about the X-Men. Like, there's your first fucking problem. Like,
fuck Bryan Singer.
So you're gonna look at Rogue as like a story mover, not as an actual like main character in this. And again, you're gonna look at
they made her
making
like a child, like a teenage girl.
Well, and they downgraded Storm. I mean,
she's a god.
They just put in Halle Berry. They put in Eye Candy with Halle Berry, but did not. I mean, and this woman had fucking won an Oscar for Monsters Ball, so showing you what writing and directing can do for anyone. And she had like 2 lines.
She didn't talk. She stood in the background unless they needed the god.
We did not mean for this to get into let's pick apart the first X-Men movie, but X-Men 97 shows you that like that that was my expectation going into that movie, and you're talking about 2 central characters, and of course you lean into the easy route, which is Scott Summers and Jean Grey are going to lead this thing, and then you got to deal with their fucking like
stupid
we're everyone's mom and dad, and then the only person that fucking calls that out is Wolverine being like, I don't need no one, bub. And I want to bang your wife.
Too, but he's not in the movies because they butchered that too.
Right.
How the fuck do you not put Gambit? Although he's, spoiler alert, dead now apparently. He can't be dead.
No, I mean, and like I think they said this series has like they have already planned like a 3 or 4 season arc, and that's it. So might be 3. So at some point, I mean, we've already introduce interdimensional stuff, so I'm sure they're going to find a way.
Living, breathing Sentinels.
Right.
Like, is he the only one? Are there more?
So I assume they're going to find a way to bring Gambit back.
And it's a cartoon, so like you don't have the... I was going to say the filming time, but I guess it takes time to do animation.
Yeah, but they're much more speedier about it now, because a lot of that is like digitally done over the hand-drawn stuff and stuff. So, I don't know, but it's...
I'm gonna need that new one soon.
Yeah, which, I mean, going back to your original question though, would be, other than Wolverine, you're looking at like, how do you resurrect Gambit? And then by that point, if we're doing it like, say, in present day, then Jean and Scott Summers are going to be old. Like, you're going to be dealing with... I mean, back then you're talking about they would have been...
Do they age?
Jean and Scott Summers do, yeah. I mean, Wolverine. Not really.
But he is Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
He is going to be a salty bastard in this new movie.
Which, so yeah, I think that begs the question. Now, again, that would be something we might get some answers out of the new Deadpool movie. Is it going to be, are they going to continue on with Logan, or are they going to do, was it like X3 or X2? What was it? Like the girl that was badass in Logan?
Oh, yeah. Yes, X whatever.
Yeah, so you just continue on with a version of,
yeah, I mean, you could create another
of the
one.
Weapon X program,
Yeah.
and then, so it doesn't have to be Logan.
No, Logan's going to save the world. Again.
Although Logan was like in the far future. Wasn't it?
When Deadpool comes?
Although no, I'm like the movie Logan.
Oh, yeah, no, it was in the far, far future.
Even though Professor X is still alive in that one, too.
Right. But he's like dementia, like
Right,
can't...
yeah.
I mean, I say far, far in the future. No, it was.
But that, again, what they've been doing with the mutant legacy movies, or the
Mutant Legacy.
The 20th Century Fox movies are, well, and even like the Sony ones, is that, those are not, I mean, same as they did with Spider-Man No Way Home. Those are alternate universe
Correct.
versions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
that's the easy way to fix everything.
Right. So yeah, I mean, ultimately the question is X-Men 97 Prime Universe?
Right.
Or is that alternate universe? Because then you could have, if it's not MCU Prime, then the MCU Prime universe could be the X-Men are delayed by 20, 30 years.
But they also play a heavy role in the... What are they doing? Secret Wars?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the one, that hasn't been changed yet.
So, in the comic book, the X-Men are heavily involved in that. Although they were heavily involved in Thanos too, I believe.
Yeah, so we're probably going to see, because I mean we at least know from the previews the Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is not of Deadpool's Prime universe.
No. He goes into the future to get him because Deadpool saved. I mean, Wolverine saved his world.
Right. So then at least with that we know the Bryan Singer X-Men universe is an alternate universe.
Thank Christ. that universe needs to be fucking snapped out of existence.
So yeah, so then is X-Men 97 going to be, is that Prime or is that another one too? Which the easy answer to that is that they just go, no, that's not of the Prime.
Anything, yeah.
Because
they should stop. Well, I know they got to tie up all these loose ends. So, what I was going to say, they need to just let everything stand on its own, or have a sacred timeline, as it were, like Kang wants.
Yeah, or I think we talked about it when they announced, the Kang or the Kang War. Is it the Kang War or Kang Dynasty?
Yep.
And then and Secret Wars. And
Secret Wars is first, right?
Now it's going to be
right. That's
right. Because now they have to rework the whole Kang Dynasty.
Okay.
But one of us said at that point, it's like once they finish that, like, what if they just were like, you know what, we're not doing connected stories. We're just going to do like one-off series,
street level.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus, like, I want to see that.
Sure.
I want to see Spider-Man and Daredevil and Punisher. Like, I want to see all of them.
Yeah,
with Kingpin.
Or what did we say? Yeah, like you got your West Coast Avengers, you got your East Coast Avengers, you got your Universal.
Outer space.
Yeah.